What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Empire Podcast. This is episode number 5. We bring you content all about finances, insurance, global outlook, real estate, overall what you should do to become a responsible adult in 2025, to be responsibly responsible with real estate, and overall just get yourself in a better position. Here you're going to learn all about that. And today is a really important day. We have my friend, my brother, my financial advisor, one of my mentors, a coach, the guy whose business operates and manages over $100 million assets under management. Guys, with us today, Christopher Ruggiero.
Very, very big opening. I don't know if I could fill those shoes. Thanks.
Isn't it all true, though?
I don't confirm nor deny any allegations.
He pleads the fifth, guys. It's okay. With us, Chris Ruggiero. Brother, welcome to the podcast. How you feeling today, man?
Well, thank you to have me, you and Edwin. I appreciate the time today. And,
Absolutely.
very happy to be here in, how do you say the town? Booton?
It's Booton.
It's the epicenter.
Dude, I really want to thank you for coming out here today. You know, I talked to all my, we talked to our subscribers about bringing real quality people that could bring us real scenarios of things that are going on in the market, news that is, relevant to today, and things that we could do today in 2025. What are we, March 28th or something, 27th, to be able to understand what's next. What are we going to do? How can we improve our lives, right? A lot of podcasts perhaps aren't giving that relevant information with real life stories about what's going on and how they can really become a better person. So that's what we're all about, man. So we really appreciate it. You're my go-to guy when it comes to talking finance, talking strategies, talking ways to improve. You're always giving me advice. This guy calls me at 9 o'clock at night. Dude, make sure you do this. And I'm just like, all right, bro, relax. I'm going to do it.
It's only because I know he'll answer.
Yeah, I really appreciate you, brother. And I'm glad.
Same.
He came all the way from Long Island. Okay, it's over a 3-hour drive to be here. That's how you know that he values our relationship, and I value him just as much. And brother, let's get into it. Today I wanted to ask you a couple of questions.
All right, so I just need to make disclosures, obviously, as a registered investment advisor. Any advice or questions given here today, you got to make sure that you do speak with your financial advisor. If you want to reach out to me to get more clarification, or if you have any other questions, feel free to do so. But just need to make sure that I put that out there. Any tax advice, you always got to meet with your CPA. We don't give any tax advice, but I can give some general. So I'll drop that disclosure again at the end. So thank you so much.
We're gonna put in the description below. We're gonna put some information about the disclosures and whatever else. The thing is that Chris is highly regulated by multiple different bodies, right? That govern really pretty much finance, and he's got to make sure that you are speaking to the right professionals as we are bringing to the show, so that way you guys get the best advice. So without further ado, Chris, tell us about who you are, how you got into your industry, and what's going on.
Christopher Thomas Ruggiero. I'm in the industry roughly 23 years now. I started off in the wirehouses back in 2002. Old school, picking up the phone, making 800-900 dials a day.
Wow.
And from there, just really took a overview of what the business was back then and where I wanted to be in a career, and made sure that I attached myself to the right mentors. And whenever I made a move, I made sure I wasn't making a lateral move. But even if it was a lateral move in title or something like that, that there was more opportunity there for me to learn and grow.
So, Chris, who is Ruggiero Investments? What do you guys do specifically?
So Ruggiero Investments is a registered investment advisor. We are fiduciaries. So we have offices down in Florida as well as New York. We just registered with the SEC, meaning we crossed over that 100 million mark in assets under management.
You're talking of these big words. I need you to dumb it down a little bit specifically for me, not so much my audience. I know a lot of you guys are very smart out there. What is a fiduciary?
Fiduciary is being bound to do what's in the best interest of the client.
Right.
So we don't look at compensation or any other specific purpose to help a client other than what's in the client's best interest. I think that's what's most important. And a lot of the industry has been moving towards fiduciary role, that fiduciary capacity. But the question is, what are they really doing about it? And what types of services or products are they offering in order to make sure that they are?
So basically, the law requires you to make sure that you do the best by the client. Why does it have to be a law about this? Like, shouldn't this be the right thing to do in business?
So you're absolutely right. So on the broker-dealer side, so when I started in the industry, that was through the broker-dealer aspect, which still very much live and relevant these days, right? But you're bound by suitability requirements. Working under the RIA, a registered investment advisor, is when you are bound by the fiduciary responsibility. So suitable, meaning you could have $100,000 invested in the stock market. A presentation could be made to you on a specific investment, and you had enough money that you should be savvy enough to know or understand the decision that was being presented to you, right? When you're dealing with a fiduciary, that is relevant, but the ownership is on me as the advisor to make sure it's in the best interest to you of the client, not just being suitable.
That does make a lot of sense. But with that, let's get to the meat and potatoes of why you're here, man. I want to tap into your knowledge, brother, to get some information for our audience. Now, I need you to give me 3 tips. 1 financial advice, 1 business advice, and 1 life advice for our audience.
Financial advice without giving you any particular recommendations, but overall, if you're young, open up an investment account and start putting money into the market. Again, meet with your financial advisor to determine the right suitability, risk tolerance, but I would definitely start putting money into the market earlier on. Secondly, life insurance. That's something that you should be looking into earlier on as well, not as a tool for estate planning so much, but more so as creating some type of income later on in life, as well as some type of long-term care benefits included. Again, speak with your advisor and or me.
Specifically you.
Specifically me. Life, you're going to go through a lot of trials and tribulations. What bothers you today and might be the focal point of some issues right now. When you take a look at your timeline, let's say average life of 100 years, and you put little blips or marks on that timeline, something that was a critical point or crucial event in your life, at the time might feel like it's everything, but when you look at that time frame of 100 years, it might just be a little blimp in the time frame. So don't focus too much on things that may not be relevant within 5 to 10 years.
That is fire, bro. I sometimes think about that too, and I think I take business personal, and maybe you shouldn't, but I care so much about my clients and what's going on and how I'm helping them, and I take it personal, so I will stay late working on that file, or I will get up early and make the call, or I will go visit the client or the investor. Literally, I'll go to the bank's headquarters and be like, "What's going on with my client? Why haven't you got it clear close?" I've done it before, and guess what? We've got the results. So it's just about caring about what you're doing, but also thinking about the future. Is this gonna affect your life in 5 years?
Well, you bring up a very relevant point, as you just said that you're working all day, all night, going to the banks, right? But make sure that you do not lose your work-life balance in the process or lose who you are. You know, especially when you're young, that's a different story. You're young, you're building your career, you have the time to put in, take risk, which is very much relevant and important, especially when you're young. But as you start to mold and shape your life and you're meeting your significant other, you want to make sure that you're giving the proper time and attention to them. And very important as well, being present when you're present. Sometimes people are present, but they're still taking phone calls. They're still, they're scrolling social media. Problem for which I had, and I adjusted not too long ago, where when I'm home, I put the phone down. I know business is ringing, but I'll deal with it later. Let me give the proper attention to my wife and children.
On a prior episode, my father was here. Now he was giving relationship advice, right, to young married adults or maybe just people that have been married for a little while. And it was in Spanish though, so I'm gonna ask you the same question. How important, Chris, is it to choose the right spouse?
Um, the significance of finding the right partner, the right spouse, when it comes to business, is the difference between sometimes success and not having success, right? If you have the right drive and motivation, but you have the wrong partner pulling you down, it's going to start at some point to deteriorate your drive, and it's going to affect your business. If you have the right partner in your corner and supporting you and understanding you and pushing you to be better and kicking you out the door when days you're having, that question of mine, I just want to sleep in or whatever the case is, it's extremely important. I'm fortunate enough that I married a very strong woman that understands I'm out there working, building a business, maintaining a business, and she's maintaining our household while herself building a business and working a full-time job. So
Give me a few quick traits, just words of the right spouse. What are some qualities that they must have?
honesty, loyalty, drive, heart, warmth,
Understanding,
nurturing, understanding for sure, and long-term vision.
long-term vision. Chris, getting back onto the topic. So I gave you guys some quick tips. If you didn't hear the Spanish episode, ChatGPT will translate it for you, but I just helped you out with that. So just going back to the episode real quick though, that we're really here for the financial advice. Chris, you mentioned it to us before. Why is life insurance so important, and why is it important to get it at a young age? And if you don't have it at a young age, what options do we have?
Life insurance years ago was a way to protect the family in someone's passing, which is still used and very much relevant now. But over the years, obviously, lifestyles have changed. Um, there used to be companies that paid pensions. You would work for a company for 20, 30 years, and when you retire, you got a nice pension. Not many companies pay pensions anymore. Municipalities and states still pay pensions, but life insurance nowadays, it allows you to combine a couple different solutions for which you may need in life within one product. So it's providing that safety for your family of estate planning, or I should say, a death benefit, God forbid something happens. It's providing, if you add it into the policy, a long-term care feature. If you get approved for it, again, this is all if you can get approved for policies, but long-term care. The need nowadays is a lot greater than it was years ago because lifestyles have changed over the years. Working classes, back then it was for the most part, the man working, the woman staying home and taking care of the children, right? Additionally, when a parent got sick, they would bring that parent into the home, or when they got to the point that they couldn't live on their own. That doesn't happen nowadays. More so, you have those that are needing the assistance going into an assisted living facility. Assisted living facilities are very expensive. You're talking
yeah.
anywhere from $6,000 to $12,000 a
Per
month.
month.
Per month. So if you don't have a nice nest egg in order to facilitate and pay for that assisted living, and you don't have the means to be with a child, then what are you doing, right? So you need to prepare and, make sure that you look at the long-term vision again. So the life insurance is very much relevant in those two aspects. But additionally, life insurance, if you are approved and you get the right type of policy, can provide some type of retirement income, some type of cash flow for you in the later years. And that could be set up where you're getting that at a tax-free basis.
Clearly, there are different reasons as to why you should buy life insurance, but I'm gonna maybe we'll work together on naming a few things that life insurance provides. I'll start off. Death benefit, so that means it's a lump payout if someone passes away to the beneficiaries.
Income.
Income, when monthly, yearly, how does that work?
So many variables when it comes to the life insurance. So depending on what type of policy that you take out, depending on the death benefit, depending on your premium, meaning how much you're paying on a monthly basis or annually, you can break up the payments however you want. It also depends on, how you want to receive that type of income. I have a client of mine. He's like, Chris, I want to live the best life can live from 60 to 80.
Mm.
So I want to take the most amount of income as I can out of my product in that time frame. So we work the numbers, right? You have to run the numbers. Worst case, best case.
Talk to me about living benefits.
Well, you said it's the living benefits are the income, right? That's what, later on in life, living benefits are the income. If you're talking about the long-term care benefits are going to be able to provide you in, situations that you can't perform 2 of the 5 daily functions. Okay. So then at that point, you could go into an assisted living facility. You could stay at home. You could have an aide come in. You could go live with a family member or a friend. And in those instances, usually what they're doing is saying, all right, we're going to cut you out a check for X amount of dollars a month. It's not a reimbursement to say, all right, well, they spent $3,000 this month on care. We're only giving them $3,000. It's depending on the type of policy you established, and your terms are going to be on that from day one, that you understand what you're going to have access to. So they might say, all right, we're going to give you $5,000 a month or $10,000 a month until you run out the percentage of the policy that we're affording for the long-term care.
So you're telling me that you don't have to die to benefit from life insurance. There are benefits as you are alive and paying into the policy to use them.
Yeah, well, infinity banking is one of them, right?
Well, that's a whole other episode, Chris. Don't even get into that. If you want to learn about infinity banking, tune into episode maybe like 12 or something, okay? You're gonna have to stick around.
Well, I would just say one of the benefits of the life insurance is utilizing that maybe to start a business, to, maybe you want to take out an auto loan. Instead of paying a bank the interest, you pay yourself back. So there's a lot of options within life insurance.
We're running short on time here. For the sake of time, I'm gonna ask you something really important. And one of the reasons why I started working with you. Give us a couple of different instruments or vehicles that are out there for investing into with your company.
Yeah, so as an RIA, we are fiduciaries. We take on full management of our clients' portfolios. We have full discretion on the investments that we are managing for our clients. Those investments range from stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs, UITs, savings accounts, CDs, treasuries. I mean, the list goes on and on. We have an endless supply of investment vehicles for our clients. We are not only licensed on the RIA side as fiduciaries, but there's other services that we're able to provide from a non-fiduciary standpoint. But it all comes down to what the client's needs are, their objectives and goals, what their not only need is. Sometimes there's a lot of clients that are not aware of what their need is, and that's what when we're discovering where they are in their life and building out a roadmap to what their financial goals are, we're going to be doing this, discovery on that. So in the industry, in the securities industry, I have roughly 11 securities licenses. In addition to that, I have insurance licenses and real estate. So there's not too many solutions out there that we're not able to provide or assist our clients in.
Sorry to cut you off. Before we started recording, you mentioned a story with a client that you just had, or how you were able to service them.
Well, that was just, I guess, in the conversation of, people not fully understanding where they are or having the right partners or mentors in place. So yesterday I had a woman come in. Unfortunately, she had gone through a divorce. She's self-employed. She's been in business 5 years. So when I asked if she was set up as an LLC or an S corp, meet with your CPA on that. But she said she was a sole proprietor. She never set up a corporation. When I asked why that was, she said that her CPA had told her that she was able to write off a decent amount as a sole proprietor, and she didn't need to go spend all the money on getting incorporated, so on and so forth. But what she doesn't realize is a few things. She lost money in terms of some of the write-offs that a business can do that you can't do on the personal end, number one. And again, speak with your CPA. Number two, when it comes to lending, which I know that you and Edwin specialize in, you're not going on the business side to be able to get a loan for the business without having any business credit. It's going to be strictly focused on the individual at that point. But if you set up a business and you start building that business credit, now you're going to be able to go out and get lending for your equipment, buy a building, whatever the case is, but you're doing it under the business. Sometimes you still have a personal guarantor on that, but you're giving yourself more options, especially if you're looking to scale up, right? If you want to grow a business, you're not going to be doing that as a one-man shop. You're going to need assistance and help. Bringing on employees, you need to be incorporated.
And one of the services you provide is succession planning, correct?
We do succession planning for businesses. You're looking to exit out of the business, whether it is, selling the business to a family member, a friend, or finding a business broker to help you, sell that business. But you can't just say, I'm ready to sell my business today and sell the business. It takes some time to make sure that you put everything in place in order to make sure, number one, whoever's buying your business is going to be able to walk in and keep that business up and running. Number two, what's important is to make sure that you have your exit strategy. At some point, depending on the business, that person's going to come in. You're going to stay on board for a period of time to make sure that business is running smooth as they take it over, right? But there's a couple of variables when it comes to succession planning. But yes, we do help with that as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we bring you the best quality people to our podcast. And as you can see, Chris and his firm have many different solutions and products to help you guys prepare yourselves financially. So if you do not prepare yourself financially, honestly, it's on you. So as you know, Chris, where can people find you? How can they get in touch with you? And how can you help them change their lives financially?
First, you can always call Waldry or Edwin. They could hunt me down. Uh, if not, company toll-free number is 1-800-777-4726. Our website is ruggiero investments.com. So that's RUGGIERO investments.com. And yeah, I mean, you could always just drop a line to either Waldry or Edwin. They'll put you in touch. If not, yeah, I'm pretty fine, easy to find on Google. So
I'm going to drop the mic here real quick. I want you to say in 2 sentences. I'm going to mention one word and respond in 2 sentences. Ready? Tariffs.
it could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing.
Goddamn. You heard it here, best man. Subscribe, like, comment, share. We're going to get you the best content, the best people, the best information here at Empire Financial Podcast. Stay tuned.